What's going on, guys? Welcome back to WWE Network and Chill, where I, Graham G.S. and Matthews, break down all the original content I watch on the WWE Network and on Peacock, and today we're talking the May 3rd, 2021 edition of Raw Talk. So, filling in for Kevin Patrick this week, which is why he wasn't on Raw either, was Kayla Braxton, who I absolutely love in the role of the host over on Talking Smack, so she was a welcome addition to the show for this week. Kevin Patrick was off having a baby. Well, not him specifically, but he is now the father of an all-new baby girl, which is really cool. So he shared the post on his Twitter. I think it was yesterday, maybe the day before. Pretty sure it was either Sunday or Monday. But that's really cool news, so congrats to him. So she hosts alongside R-Truth, and they recap the ending to Raw that saw Bobby Lashley beat Braun Strowman with interference, kind of subtle interference from Drew McIntyre. Kayla calls Randy Orton and Riddle an unlikely duo. R-Truth thinks that AJ Styles and Omos are going to hold the gold, the Raw Tag Team titles for quite a while. And Kayla, I almost had a good laugh at this. She says that Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler are dominant. Dominant, you say? Now, I know they retain the titles on Monday's Raw, but literally every other goddamn match I have seen these two people have, they have lost. They have lost to Tamina, Natalya, Naomi. I mean, you name them, they've probably lost to them in either a tag team match or a singles match. They do a lot of losing, specifically Shayna. She is a fucking loser as far as the booking goes. And it sucks to see because I like her a lot, but they have been far from dominant. They do win whenever it matters most. There is something to be said for that. They are still the women's tag team champions, and they have been for the better part of the last, 8 months since they won them back in late August. But yeah, so they're dominant according to Kayla, which I don't agree with. So the first guest they have on is the Raw Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley. And she says that, she kind of backs up what Bianca Belair said too, and that Charlotte Flair is upset that a new generation of women are coming through. Doesn't mean Flair has to step aside, but she has to welcome this new generation of women, from herself to Bianca to even Raquel Gonzalez over in NXT. She claims that Charlotte is mad at life for not getting what she wants. And she also takes aim at Sonya Deville, who kind of made this match happen. Rhea and Asuka was already made official for Backlash. What I don't understand, Charlotte being inserted is one thing, as long as she doesn't win, which is there's a very real chance that she will. Why make the match if you're only just going to insert Charlotte Flair? Maybe from a storyline standpoint, they're doing that because, just to put heat on Charlotte and on Sonya, and I guess that's fine. But I don't know where any of this is going, and honestly, it's hard to carry. I like Charlotte. I think Sonya is great. But I don't know. The whole storyline to me is just a complete miss. So yeah, she takes aim at Deville, who calls Deville reckless for what she's done recently and letting Charlotte back onto Raw and giving her a title shot, blah, blah, blah. She also claims that Charlotte is trying to rob her of her Raw Women's Championship, and she guarantees victory at Backlash. Now, Kayla, doing her job correctly, brought up that Rhea has never beaten Charlotte before. In any sort of situation, whether it be a tag match, it could be a singles match, specifically at WrestleMania 36, she's never beaten Charlotte before. And Rhea says now she can lose the championship, Rhea herself can, without even being pinned, because it's a triple threat match, which is a very real possibility. So she's going to try to find the easy way out. So the next guest they have on is Damien Priest, who says that his last couple of months on Raw have been great for him. He's won a majority of his matches. Him losing that handicap match the night after WrestleMania was pretty fucking dumb. But other than that, he won the tag team match last week. He beat Miz 2 weeks ago. He beat Morrison this week, which is great. He gives Miz credit, because Miz was like, I demand credit for everything I've done. He respects what he's accomplished. He doesn't respect his attitude and how he goes about things. As far as what's next for him, his goals are always moments. He talked about this 2 weeks ago, how he wanted to live forever and blah, blah, blah. He created a moment at WrestleMania when he and Bad Bunny beat Miz and Morrison. He's looking for that next moment. And he hopes that he's done now with Miz and Morrison, and I hope so too. The rivalry ran its course at WrestleMania. No need to continue doing it, especially now that Priest has beaten both men individually in singles competition. Time to move on. He does say, though, one of these moments could involve him winning championship gold. And at some point, he's going to have to win a title. So he does tease that possibility. Maybe he will ultimately be the one to take the championship from Sheamus. I think that'd be pretty cool. But he also wants to inspire people to do more, because he's a guy that should have never been in WWE in the first place. So if he can come in and be a success story, he hopes people can be a similar success story and follow in his footsteps, which is cool. The last guest they have on is Drew McIntyre, who said that he was out there during the main event of Raw minding his own business when Braun and Bobby went at it, and that cost Braun the victory, obviously. He allowed himself, Drew did, to be distracted at WrestleMania with all the fans and just everything else. That's not going to happen again. And he doesn't fault Bobby Lashley. In fact, he says that Lashley works hard. He's earned the right to be WWE Champion. He even says he has nothing negative to say about Bobby Lashley, which I think is really cool because typical babyface 101, oh, like, fuck the heel, they're a piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. No, Lashley doesn't cheat. He goes in there, he dominates people, and he wins. So why would anyone fault Bobby Lashley? He does fault MVP, saying that MVP pulls the strings, but that's really about it. Kayla asks him, how much bigger, if any, of a threat are Lashley and Strowman? He says, no, they're kind of the same threat. I've lost to both men before, but I'm going to go in there and win the championship. He also plugs his new book that actually I think came out today. I forgot what it's called, but it's all about his journey and his life and not just wrestling, which is cool. He talked about the process of meeting with the publisher and thinking that his life wasn't really worthy of writing a book on, but it's all about determination and motivation and bouncing back and life in general and all this other stuff, some inspiring shit, so I thought that was cool, and the book is out now, I believe, on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, shit like that, so that's pretty cool. Hopefully I can get my hands on that at some point. I have a lot of money towards Barnes & Noble for gift cards I've accumulated over the last, literally 15 years, so I am all for that and getting, picking up the book at some point. It looks like it's a good read. Yeah, he just wants to get his life story out there, he said as well. So, yeah, I thought this was a good episode of Raw Talk. Kayla is very good. I enjoy Kevin Patrick, but Kayla's been doing this a lot longer, and she's just a natural, so. And she also kind of kept R-Truth in check, too. She was exceptionally good on the show. She was the real star of the show for me on this episode. Rhea was good. Drew and Damien. It was nice to have, I guess Rhea's a heel. I have no fucking clue, but, it was nice to not have the heels in there bashing the babyface host for a change. We kind of get that a lot, and sometimes it can be entertaining, but it happens a lot on these shows, so I'm glad we didn't really get that this week. But good stuff for the May 3rd, 2021 edition of Raw Talk. Thank you guys for checking out this video. I appreciate it. Be sure to like the video, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel for more daily content. I'm including Raw Talk reviews every Tuesday, Talking Smack reviews every Saturday. We have Q&A videos every single Wednesday, WrestleRant radio excerpts on Thursdays. We have reviews of Ms. and Mrs., WWE Untold, WWE Chronicle coming up this week with Damien Priest, WWE 24, Broken Skull Sessions, Broken Skull Sessions, stuff like that, including exclusive interviews, two of which went up this week. One with Braun Strowman, Raw Superstar, just got done talking about him. Went up here on the channel yesterday, and that kind of made the rounds on a lot of the wrestling websites, which is cool. And today was my interview with Isaiah Swerve Scott before NXT Tonight when he faces Leon Ruff in the Falls Count Anywhere match. So check out my two latest interviews here on the channel with Isaiah Swerve Scott and Braun Strowman. Both are now up here on the channel and on Bleacher Report. And the Isaiah one, as of this recording, is not currently up in article form. Either it's going to be up later today or early tomorrow, I believe, on dailyddt.com, so keep an eye out for that. Have an awesome one, guys. I'm Graham G.S. Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.